Well, here I am filming in my bathroom yet again. This seems to be a pattern I'm starting, but last time it was for comedy. This time it's tactical. Oh, it is. And first of all, I apologize. I'm not gussied up, and I just don't care. I'm really tired. Not in a bad way, but I am. So sorry ahead of time. I'm going to look this way the whole video. It's just going to happen. Um, anyway, like most of the country, we were hit by a pretty spectacular storm that they are calling a bomb cyclone. One of many, many new words that I've learned over the course of this. Here in Colorado, and I know Texas, New Mexico were hit real hard, and a lot of people lost their power. We lost ours for a couple of days, and that's where it got interesting. And my kids, I realized, they'd never really dealt with anything like this. Even when we'd lost power before, whether here or other places, very, very brief. Never really had to do anything about it. We'd always kind of start the preparation, but never had to go beyond that. Well, it started getting really, really cold. I said, okay, how do you keep the warm things warm and the cold things cold? Well, like our bathroom particularly was like 10 degrees colder than the rest of the house, shockingly cold. And I had done some poor man's insulating, use newspaper or paper towels and cracks, duct tape, especially over the smaller cracks, and then fill the larger ones with newspaper, putting towel under doors, things like that. Well, it was still too cold, and I knew this trick, and I'm sure a lot of people do, of using tinfoil and a candle. Aluminum foil. I still say tinfoil. I know. It's annoying. It's going to happen. Again, sorry. So you take a tent, basically, and always remember, shiny side towards the flame, right? Make a tent shape over your body. Sit inside of it and light a candle. The ambient heat from that will produce a ridiculous amount of heat. It's actually really surprising. I said, okay, well, let's try to make this bigger. So in the bathroom, again, that's why we're in here. I swear there's a reason. I put some tinfoil down in the tub to lay some candles down. Then I angled some towards the top, which you're going to see here. It's kind of taped in the back at an angle like this. Basically, I wanted to reflect the heat all up and out into the rest of the room. So I went ahead and at first just used some regular house candles, set them in there, lit like 3 of them. Within 20-30 minutes, with the doors closed, it started getting pretty toasty. I'm going to show it to you guys real quick. It looks a little weird. I kind of had to redo part of it after the storm, but I'll give you an idea here. Okay, so here's the angled tin foil. And it's not very pretty, but you can see now I've just got emergency candles in there now. It's not very pretty, but it worked really, really well. Okay, so now the rest of the house. How do we expound on this idea? Well, we science the shit out of it. First of all, I probably should have made this clear. In my home, we do not have a gas stove. We do not have a fireplace. We don't have a generator. We're not fancy like that. So since a modern home is not really designed to light a fire in it, how do you bring warmth in safely? How do I expound on this idea? So basically just started blocking off areas, with blankets, newspaper, tinfoil, whatever, and building things like this, using pots and pans or even little dishes, wrapping the tinfoil in there, melting a little wax and sticking a candle in there. Big pots and pans work better. That way you also know it's stable, your flames, and then you can clean up real easy by just pulling the tinfoil out afterwards so you don't have wax all over. Setting these around and blocking off areas. And we ended up having a real toasty little area in the living room, all gathered in there because you got the body heat too. The critters in there, because we have a couple critters we needed to keep warm. Like I have an African gray parrot, and his cage is real big, so you can actually we set candles right under there. I did in a pot and a little tinfoil around the bottom of his cage, and it warmed him real slow along with the ambient heat from the room. If you have smaller animals like that, just set the candles around their cages and then make a tent over aluminum foil tent. I didn't say tin. Aluminum foil tent over them, and that will bring in quite a bit of warmth. Same with like fish. Same idea will work. With a refrigerator, you can take out your crisper drawers and pack them full of snow if it's snowing, and then put them back in. If you don't have snow and you want to keep them cold, if it's hot and you've lost the power, get a bag of ice or use ice from the freezer. Because we're in America, we're very lucky. There's usually a store somewhere running and you can get a bag of ice. If you really can't, the ice in our freezer was still frozen 2 days later. If you don't open it unless you absolutely have to, it's going to stay cold. It's the refrigerator you have to worry about. So pack ice into the crisper drawers, close it up. It'll keep. You'll have to replace it every few hours depending on the heat of the rest of your home. But the fridge is what heats up the most, and you can use your freezer to help you with the refrigerator. I mean, even put some things in there. We even packed the sink full of snow and put gallons of milk in there, things like that, whatever. It ended up working really well. We were super cozy, ended up having a great time. I guess even Instagram was down. Other people were going Little House on the Prairie for that. We had a great time. It was an adventure. It was a 24-hour thing, which is why I'm still tired. But it was a great learning experience. My kids were able to jump in. They're old enough. They were able to really help and learn. Anyway, so maybe some of this will be helpful to other people in that kind of situation. I'm sure a lot of you already know all this, but I kind of had to experiment on how to open it up into bigger rooms. And it worked well, and it was fun. Pulled out some board games by candlelight. My daughter on the second night, she was actually too warm at one point and had to pull away from the group area because, well, let's just all sleep up here, conserve the heat, keep it in one room. And by the way, with pots and pans, it's safer that way, because that's what you got to think about when we're in situations like this. People start to get cold and panic, and your home is not made to build a fire in. That's where dangerous things happen. So big pots, big pans, the aluminum foil, you can have it in a controlled way and in a secure way and warm. Just block it off, especially if you've got high ceilings or really bad insulation like we do here. And wait it out. Try to have as much fun as you can and make it an adventure, but just be safe and be smart about it. And I guess that's it. But yeah, I wanted to share something. My bathtub. Look what I did. It's like Martha Stewart. It's the exact same. Thank you so much for watching, if you did, and putting up with my face being this Emmy seeing tinfoil. So hope everybody's safe. I know people had it much, much worse than we did here. And like I said, we're very, very lucky. We still had running water the whole time, things like that. So hope everybody's safe and well and warm. And thanks so much. Bye-bye.